In the beginning, when Chicago State University responded to Enahoreba's subpoena and delivered Tinubu's academic records to him, many Nigerians knew that he forged his certificate, not just because the certificate they gave to Enahoreba wasn't the one they issued in 1979, but because of the major flaw, the signature. For a second time, Chicago State University responded to another subpoena, this time by Atiku Abubakar. All the certificate samples they submitted to Atiku, none matched the one that Tinubu submitted to INEC 100%. So it is the second time they are confirming that he forged his certificate. Now wait for the main one, the oral deposition, where their representatives were asked questions in court. The wide-ranging questions borders on the veracity, authenticity of the documents they submitted to Atiku. While the full transcript of the deposition is not yet out, we still got a few lines from that deposition. The representative said that a male Bola Tinubu was admitted to the Chicago State University in the 70s. This has never been the contention by Atiku or anyone. The main contention is that he forged the certificate. Now, let's go straight to that. Their response was that it didn't come from them. The maker of the document is saying that the certificate Tinubu submitted was gotten from third parties. Let that sink in. That certificate could have never come from them because of that major error. Let's see the uncertified transcript of the deposition in court. This question is coming from Atiku's lawyer. I'm handing you what has been marked as Exhibit 6. This purports to be a June 22nd, 1979 issued to Mr. Bola Tinubu, and you can see it is stamped by INEC on the diploma as well. Have you seen this document before? Answer: in the proceedings for this case, yes. Question: you have never seen this document prior to the proceedings in this case? Answer: correct. We will get this in full when the certified copies are released. If you want to see the full transcript, please signify in the comment section so that I'll make our time to make a video of it. So this is what Atiku needs. According to Nigerian law, if a maker of a document disowns the document, no other person can save that document because that document belongs to them. Their name is written on it. To people who were saying that Atiku went on a fishing expedition, yes, it was a fishing expedition and he has caught a huge, massive fish. Another line from their oral deposition is their response to the authenticity of the documents Tinubu submitted at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. Remember that Atiku's contention was that he forged his certificate, but his lawyers tendered academic records from Chicago State University, which didn't in any way disprove or try to counter the issue of certificate forgery. Now, these documents have also been denied by the representatives, saying that these documents didn't come from them, that they were even produced outside the university, that they didn't receive a demand in official capacity to produce those documents, that they were even stamped outside the university. The worst part is the last line, that forgery is a Nigerian thing. Look at the disgrace all of us are receiving because of a few people who have contempt for due process. For the record, all Nigerians are not certificate forgers. They should not paint all of us with the same brush. Majority of Nigerians are young, enthusiastic, educated people who follow due process. It's a pity that the system in Nigeria doesn't reward honest people. People who break the laws, lawless people are rewarded, promoted in society. Sometimes police, authorities defend lawless people. Isn't that strange? So there is no benefit whatsoever that will encourage someone to be law-abiding in a lawless society. So many Nigerians are honest people who give their all, spend years in universities acquiring education despite all the strikes in Nigerian universities. These strikes persist because politicians have their family abroad. They don't care what is going on in Nigerian institutions. Many Nigerian professionals are abroad also. They have genuine education. They never forge their certificates. They excel in many fields across the world. So they should not paint us with the same brush because a few people believe in forgery. They believe they can get away with anything because the society is corrupt. It is now obvious why Tinubu fought hard to prevent the release of his academic records, not just because of the documents, but for the oral deposition. Many people were saying that the representatives will plead the Fifth Amendment, but they can't because they are representing an institution. An institution is not human. It can't plead the Fifth Amendment. And if they refuse to answer the questions, the court might see it as a disobedience of their order, which will obviously attract penalties. Like we said in the other video, no one will take a hit for anybody in a system where things work like America. Even if you bribe that person to take the hit for you, the person knows that tomorrow they will still discover that he took money to lie to protect someone. He might still be brought to justice based on the bribe again. So there's no hiding place in a society where things work. They say righteousness exalts a nation. We can't build a nation like America with all the fraud. Many judges are now legalizing forgery. How can a judge openly accept that a document was forged but still go ahead and manufacture a reason? A laughable excuse that the certificate is not a requirement to contest for the position. So despite the person forging it, the person can still be disqualified. This is a very strange way of administering justice. Nigerian judges should learn from the American judges. Look at how they swiftly dispose the matter. It can never be obtainable in a system like Nigeria, where judges adjourn cases for several years, something that is not even obtainable in neighboring West African countries. So they should learn from them so that we can build a better country. We can't build a country that will accept fraud as being normal. What example are we leaving for the young people? By the way, the average age of people in power in Nigeria is above 60 years. So you can imagine men of age, they are experienced, they are intelligent, they are supposed to be more knowledgeable than young people, but they are the ones doing all the wrong things, preventing the country from developing. Now, after getting evidence that will obviously cause irreparable harm to Tinubu like he told the Chicago court, Atiku will now proceed to the Supreme Court to tender this evidence. What are they going to do with the evidence? How will the judges handle the evidence? Will they rely on technicality and say it wasn't front-loaded, like the appeal court justices said, despite it being a constitutional matter? It is obvious that the drafters of the Constitution do not want someone of questionable character to become the president of Nigeria. They do not want a certificate forger. That's why they included it in Section 137, that if any person that contests for the presidency forges a certificate, it will be a disqualifying factor. That person must be disqualified. So let's see what the Supreme Court justices will do now that it has become an international event. All eyes are on them. It started from Nigeria, they went to the United States, and they are now coming back to Nigeria again. If the young justices in the United States were able to handle this matter in this way, a matter that is not of any concern to the United States, they don't have anything to do with our election, they just did their jobs the way they are supposed to do it, they followed their laws. Let's see how the Supreme Court justices will follow the Nigerian law too. Let's see what they will decide. Let's see if they will do the right thing and say, no, enough is enough. The evidence is just too many. The baggage is just too many on one man. We should stand up and do what is right so that righteousness will actually exalt Nigeria. Thanks for watching.